But if he does get a lead in here, guys, he might be tough to pass even for Wise Dan.
All right, loading into the gate for the Turf Classic. There's Gary Stevens and Slim Shady. I think Larry's going to call this, not Michelle.
Let's hope.
Okay. So as Optimizer goes in, let's go to Larry Colmus for the call of the Turf Classic.
Yeah, this one will be me, Tom, for sure. We've got Optimizer moving into the starting gate. He's going to take stall 3 here under Joel Rosario, who will be riding morning line favorite Orb in the Kentucky Derby in just a couple of hours. As you see, Slim Shady with Gary Stevens getting a little bit fired up in the starting gate there. Oh, he's really going up to the front of the gate, and Gary's going to get off of Slim Shady here as he continues to be restless. They'll try to settle Slim Shady down, and then Gary Stevens will get back aboard. And now it looks like Slim Shady is settled down, and here comes the horse of the year, Wise Dan, to the outside stall. He goes in. They're all in line. We are ready for the start. They're off in the Turf Classic. And it's Silver Max, as expected, who goes right out to take the early lead. And Wise Dan is there on the far outside. Optimizer away running in between those two, and now takes second. Wise Dan settles back in third. Bim Bam is fourth. Slim Shady fifth on the inside, backing off about 6 or 7 lengths off the lead early. And then it's Geronimo, and well behind is Mitty. Mitty's a good 14 lengths off of Silver Max and Robbie Alvarado, who complete a quarter in 23 and 4/5 seconds. That's a pretty good pace over this wet going. The leader here, Silver Max, by a length and a half. And Optimizer is second onto the back stretch. Wise Dan, the horse of the year, is third, and he's well in control at this stage under Jose Lezcano. He's 2.5 lengths off the lead and clear of Bim Bam. Gary Stevens has Slim Shady 8 lengths behind the front runners. It's another 2.5 back to Geronimo, and Mitty and Cisco Torres continue to race in last after a 48 and 2 half miles. So they move for the far turn where it's been Silver Max all the way, and Optimizer is still second. Wise Dan third. He's going to go 3 deep as they go into the turn. Bim Bam follows in fourth. Slim Shady is fifth. Then Geronimo and Mitty. And Optimizer now makes his move for the lead, but Wise Dan is strong to the outside. Silver Max is put to a drive, and he's still in contention on the rail, and the 3 of them turn for home together. Silver Max, Optimizer, and Wise Dan. And now Wise Dan, who's still under a hand ride, has grabbed the lead as they come to the 8th pole. And Wise Dan is pulling away now from Optimizer and from Silver Max. It is Wise Dan coming down to the wire clear from Optimizer in second. The horse of the year shows him why. Wise Dan, and Jose Lezcano did it. It was Optimizer second. Mitty from dead last got third, and Silver Max finished fourth in a final time of 1 minute 51.84 seconds. That's the horse of the year from last year, Wise Dan.
And 2 for 2 this year. In fact, that is his 6th straight win going back to last year. His first victory on the turf beyond a mile, and he tops $4 million in career earnings today. The reigning horse of the year, Wise Dan, and jockey Jose Lezcano showing you their talents here in the Turf Classic.
We had all hoped to see a matchup between Wise Dan and Point of Entry, as you see Gary Stevens pulling up Optimizer, but because of the rain, the Fib Stable shook McGahee scratch Point of Entry this morning. But you know, it's still pretty cool to get to see the horse of the year strut his stuff. And there you see one top-class racehorse, and Jose Lezcano knows him well. Johnny Velasquez rides him often. When Johnny doesn't ride him, it's Lezcano. Johnny would have ridden him today, except he had committed to Point of Entry. And then when Point of Entry scratches, Johnny's left without a mount. But doesn't matter to Wise Dan.
There's a great one. Wise Dan victorious in the Turf Classic at Churchill Downs.